Okay, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today, by the way. Very thankful to have all of you here. It seems like we had some double audio issues here with the setup. It is what it is. Double audio is better than nothing, right? And better than no audio. So I apologize for your ears. Yeah, I apologize for that. It seems to be a little bit worse than the times I was singing on YouTube. So at least we got there somehow. Today, in today's episode of The Ark, we have some lovely, lovely guests. We have the lovely Wilky, which I'm going to drag right here to my right. We have Koleverii on the top, and then we have also Neeko. Very nice people. Actually, to say a few words about each, I would do them a this favor. Their links are in the description below, by the way. They're all content creators for Lost Ark, dedicated people, people that have played the game for a long time. Neeko is mostly focused on PvP, while Kole is focused on, oh, Jesus, 800 days of streaming Lost Ark. Even before I even heard about the game, he was here. And you all know Wilky already. Wilky is a legend of Zinnervale, for fuck's sake. Now, now that we got that out of the way, welcome everyone, and thank you so much again for joining us. Today we're going to talk about several things. First of all, let's go through the server situation. Shall we do that?
Oh,
Yeah, server
sure.
situation for all of the regions. Where's my server thing? Here it is. Let me just quickly enable my screen once more. There we go. So server situation is as follows. We're gonna talk about your comments also. By the way, guys, we're gonna place them on screen just like this, and we're gonna respond to them just a little
Hello,
bit
friends.
later. And hello, friends. Hello, Franz. Franz. Just a little bit later. Yeah. So keep your questions for a little bit later. 1,000 crystals, 400 blue. What? Was this leaked? We're already talking about leaked stuff. If 1,000 crystals means 400 blue, that means $10 for a premium membership. I think this is a pretty legit exchange rate. But we're gonna talk about that maybe if I remember it. Actually, let me just quickly bookmark this comment. We're gonna talk about them, right? So the situation with servers, yeah, there has been some switcheroos happening recently.
Uh-oh.
This is some people have betrayed their friends, including some people on this very podcast.
What do you
um
mean?
it is what it is. What can I tell you? We were supposed to have fun together, but it appears to me that Zinnervale is catching a lot of traction. So I wish Wilkie all the best of luck and lots of fun in the queue. What server are you going on, Neeko? Have you have you decided,
Um,
Neeko, on is it Kadan, or are you going again to some other server?
so we haven't decided just yet, but I will say this. We will definitely decide today or later today. I don't know, probably in a couple, maybe 7 hours or something. Um, but just a secret, just a quick secret to Wilkie. Wilkie, if you would forward what I talk to you about to Mr. Sabo and Cole as well,
Uh,
that would be
sure.
okay.
Wait a second. So wait a second. So you wait another traitor? We
Um,
have. I'm literally surrounded by traitors. Look to my right and my left. What about you? What are your plans, Kole? What server are you choosing? You're going NA?
We're going NA East Regulus.
NA
Yeah,
East
because
Regulus. Let's
yeah,
take a look here. Regulus. Okay.
at first we chose Regulus because everyone was going to Azina, and we don't want to get stuck there on the server queue. And Regulus was fairly decent, and then don't know what happened. Suddenly, Regulus is in the lead now.
I
I hope
see.
we don't get
It,
we
it
don't get stuck in queue.
it appears that 30.9% of the guilds are going Regulus and 30.1 are going on Azina.
Ay,
Una is
ay.
also having 21.1 of the guilds. So it seems like on NA East, at least people have, I don't know, somehow split in between more servers than it is in EU. Actually, no, never mind. Forget that. EU also is doing pretty decent. I think this is a decent split. Of course, one server is going to be bigger than the other. Um, we also have so we have Kadan for EU and Zinnervale. Zinnervale the largest, and then Kadan. We have Asta, which has caught a lot of traction from the beginning when we talked about it. They were like nobody was going there. And now already we have 14% of the guilds going there. Asta being apparently a server where the German communities are going to go. Let's take a look here and see where are we standing. Yeah, Asta, 44 German guilds so far and 5 English guilds. Zinnerville will be the largest server. Yeah. Links to document. Sure, I'm gonna post you links to document. Um, and on Chedan, we
Chedan.
have Chedan. Yeah, it's Chedan. It
Is
is
it
how it is.
though?
It's for Giga Chads here only, and Giga Chadettes. So we welcome girls also. Absolutely no problem. Who wouldn't want to be on a server with Giga boys and girls? Yeah.
Oh.
But everyone join Zinnervale, by the way. Let's make Wilky's queue longer. I advise everyone.
I'll be living
Goes.
inside the server. I don't care if there's a queue. I will never log out.
All right. So on Kadan, we have English servers as a majority. We have a bit of Turkish servers as well. We have some couple of Spanish servers. So a combination of lovely people from all over Europe. On Neira, we have 19 Italian guilds and 16 Polish guilds. I'm actually shocked. I'm literally shocked that that so many guilds, right? Because if you think about the guild, you think about what, 30 people at least. Some guilds have split, right? Some guilds have 900 members, and that's not one guild anymore. That's 60 guilds or however many there are, 30. So it's just crazy to think that so many people, because all of these 19 Italian, 16 Polish, 44 English, these guilds are not just 44 guilds. There are 44 names which contain like 100 people, right, or more, and that's already 3 guilds. So just shocked that so many people just shocked that so many people are playing Lost Ark, and that is doing okay so far. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Everything okay so far? Neira, Thyrain also, 11 guilds there. Are you shocked about something? Way, Trixion. Trixion, look at Trixion, by the way. What about this? 8% when Trixion was bigger than Kadan at one point.
Yeah, I think overall, this always happens in every MMO start that where people just flock to one singular server. But maybe it's worth mentioning that most of the things in the game aren't actually server specific anyway. So maybe some people will probably jump off the queue servers and then just go to some random server. I actually think that we will probably get even more servers. I think this won't even hold up, but I don't know if we know the actual maximum amount of people that can queue at the same time or play at the same time.
We don't, do you?
I have no idea.
All right. Neither do I. In terms of NA East, this is we already took a look a little bit on it. This is a good distribution, good for them. How many? What do we have? Galatur and Ladon. These servers don't seem to be so popular. Again, for the community that's already here, there's gonna be much more people coming later on, right? They're not here yet. These are for old people, old communities, or people who have just discovered us recently, etc. NA West, we have Valtan with the majority, and then Mari a little bit on Envishka as well. Any shocking developments here? I don't think so. Yeah.
You see, over here in EU, we don't have these regional problems like NA East versus NA West, Stoops killing the West. Over here, we don't have such issues, guys. So,
yeah, we don't have. Yeah, we don't have evil streamers like Stu here to kill our region. We all get along here. Okay, and then South America, we have an almost 50-50 distribution. Good job, South American players. Very nice. All right, perfect. Now that we got this out of the way, let's just. I'm sorry I apologize to my guest. I just wanna take a couple of questions regarding this particular thing. So it appears that yesterday some streamers were allowed to stream the PTS. Did you guys know that?
I had no clue.
Nope.
Nope.
Right. So some streamers were allowed to stream the PTS. Someone said in the chat, and some people from the chat baited them into opening the cash shop and looking at the prices. 1,000 crystals, 1,000 royal crystals. Yeah, the ones you get with real money for 400 blue crystals. A premium membership costs 420. So you still need that extra 20, which is something that I dearly hope they might reconsider because it's just another little shitty topic that people could potentially talk about. Why give them for 20 extra crystals, right? Make it 500 instead of 420 or whatever, some round price that people could buy, or add 20 more crystals in the pack that you buy with 1,000 royal ones, right? So I really hope this is going to change. But I don't see exactly what is the problem, chat. Like what exactly is the problem that 1,000 crystals gets you 400 blue ones, thus a premium membership. Premium membership, which is in many other MMOs, 10 to 15 euros or dollars. And 1,000 crystals is, as we discussed in the founders packs, as everyone was mentioning, 1,000 1,000 orange crystals equivalent of $10. You get 1,000 for a silver pack. So what exactly is the problem here, or is this just like something that you wanted to point out, not a problem? What do you guys think?
I
I
don't think
mean,
it's a problem because, like, as you said, at $10, €10, depending on the region you're in, for a premium membership is pretty much the, I would say, average pricings. Some games are even as far as like 13 to 15, so it's still in the, I guess, norm. I do get that people hate the fact that you get 400 crystals, but you need 420. But that's like been around since the ancient ages, that there's like not having rounded prices, so people have stuff left over, which just forces them to buy more, which is simple psychology that basically is applied to everywhere in the reward. If you go to a shop, usually you don't pay €2, but you pay 1.99, and you always have these weird values because it fucks with your brain, and tricks you into thinking you're actually like you're being cheated, even though you don't really realize it. So I don't think there's anything unusual there. Yes, it sucks. I don't like it either, but it's something we have to deal with.
What do you think, Kole? 1,000 crystals in exchange of 400 blue ones in game. 1,000 crystals, you get 1,000 for a silver founder pack, which costs $25. We all thought that 1,000 would be the equivalent of $10. So, do you see any problem here, or?
um, it is what it is, man.
It
Amazon
is
fun.
what it is.
Amazon wants to make money.
Okay, so, but I don't think there's a problem here with the prices of the crystals.
Yeah, I don't see it as a problem as well.
Right.
I
Okay.
mean, maybe we should also mention that you can also transfer your gold into blue crystal as well. So if you have 1,000 royals and you get a 400 blue, right? You can always, get the remaining 20 with your gold if you want to.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you can only buy 90 or 95. But yeah, that's a topic
Yeah.
again for another video maybe. All right, cool. So what server people are asking, what servers are we playing on? So I'm playing on Kadan at the moment. Go ahead, you guys also say your own servers. I don't wanna speak the Z word.
There's still secrets, Saibo. There's still secrets. But Wilky probably messaged you already. Maybe there may be something, complete like out of the ordinary happening. Maybe we're actually going Kadan. Maybe we're going Zinnervale. Maybe neither of those.
Okay.
Well,
I'll be
Let's just
going-
agree that there is not everything is set in stone. Let's just agree on that.
Okay.
My guild is set in stone already. It's gonna be regulars. So
Okay.
we decided regular.
Kole,
Yeah.
who are you? Who is in your guild? Who are you gonna play with? Who are the lucky people that you're gonna play with?
These are the guys that I've been around with me for the past 3 years.
Who is this?
Everybody
Okay.
knows Jurta. A lot of people seem to know Jurta from Russian server. Apparently, he's the top berserker. I don't know about that. And my friend, Eat Red Carpet, you may have seen him. We've been playing together since the Diablo 3 days. So, yeah, Sean, a lot of these guys have been following me since Korean days. So,
Mm-hmm.
that is one of the reason we decided to go NA East. Even though NA West is going to give me slightly better ping, but
Don't you need as good ping as you can possibly get, especially for you that you're playing from further away?
it's okay, man.
It
How
So
much
is,
ping do
yeah,
you have?
just
your skills are gonna make up for the 40 ping loss.
from where I am to NA West so it's already going to be 200 over ping.
Oof.
It's a little bit more ping to NA East. So I will be playing at 250 ping.
Mm-hmm.
But having tested it on beta, it's not so bad. I'm not going to be making it, ranking up in as grandmaster or whatever in PvP. But
Mm-hmm.
just for fun, it's still okay. For fun, it's fine. Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
As you
So
guys
now you
know,
know.
it doesn't really affect PvE much. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I
There
will
you go. So
always look for an excuse. So, like, if I play on 200 ping, if I die, I blame that dude. Like,
all right. Sinner Whale, Sinner Whale. Someone said Sinner Whales. I'm gonna post all the memes for Sinner Whale, so I can maybe dissuade Wilky and Neeko for this server. The worse memes there are, the more I'm gonna post them, guys. I swear. So this is another overview of the servers, by the way. Someone linked in my Discord. If you wanna link anything, by the way, I have my Discord where you can link stuff that I can watch. On Zinnervale, 110 English speaking, 33 Spanish, 18 Czech and Slovak guilds, 13 Greek guilds, 11 Finnish guilds, Swedish, a couple of Germans. So again, a nice combination of people also. Kadan also um, is here, and this is the link with the. Actually, I don't. Maybe I can share this with you guys also in the chat, so you can. Thank you for becoming a member, Akamura. I appreciate it. So you can actually watch yourselves these things. Um, is Kadan and Zinnervale guaranteed queue times? What do you guys think?
I'm not sure, honestly, because at the end of the day, we talked about this already, but we don't know the actual limit. And since this game has channels, unlike New World, for example, which was their least, well, their latest game, right? I don't know. I don't know if there will be any queues. I don't know if there will be insane queues. I don't know if every server will be so full they have to add new ones. Like, I think all of that could happen, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Wilkie,
I
thoughts?
mean,
Is there going to be guaranteed queues?
yeah, like it. So here's the thing: what some people I think may like queues are bad. Don't get me wrong. I think queues are bad, but if we don't have queues on the Western release, then something's wrong. Either Amazon sized their servers so massively that we're not running into queues, which I think would be really bad, or we have way more people than Amazon expects and we have queues. So I actually hope that we have queues simply to show that, the game is fairly big. And like if we don't have queues, I think something's going to be wrong on the Western servers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That I mean, the meme with Qdon has been posted. I just said it. I mean, there's memes for it. Yeah. I mean, there's memes for every server, so we just have to go along with it.
I have a good one. I have a good one on my Discord. Wait, I saw it earlier this morning. I took a look at it. This one, this right here. This is a good one. Yeah. So apparently, for some reason, on Zinnervale, there's going to be the booba there.
No, it's because like I don't know Italian, so somebody in chat will correct me. But I think in Italian it's zine or something is the Italian word for boobs, so that's why that's where this comes from.
Okay,
so it's the Italian server now.
It's Nothing wrong with any nationality, by the way. I was accused after the last podcast because one of the guilds I wanted to join was initially wanting to go to Wei. And during the podcast, I said, thank God they changed their mind and were not going to Wei, because that server has been, after they decided, that server has been, let's say, decided that is the Spanish server.
The
And
Spanish Inquisition.
yeah, exactly. And then some people thought that I hate Spanish people for some reason. Some of my best friends are from Spain. Holy cow! So no, but just saying, it's nice to be on a place where you don't bother anyone with your chat, and you understand when people tell you about mechanics inside dungeons, and all sorts of these things that can actually happen. I also saw another comment, just in case some of you didn't understand. Someone was saying that what is wrong with the extra 20. We all agreed that there's something wrong with the extra 20. What we were talking about is the actual price, 1,000 premium currency for 400 blue ones. That's a normal good price, or decent price, what you would expect. We weren't talking about the 20 extra. 20 extra is bad. Actually, I talked about the 20 extra right before this. Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to talk is this particular thing. Only 157 likes on the stream. Cannot even express my disappointment in words. Something else that we wanted to take from the chat. I found it interesting that people are already planning launch day, but this is Amazon we're talking about, and nobody's worried they're gonna this launch up, also with huge queues like New World. So see, this is the thing. I'm gonna let my guests take this one, not because it's controversial, but because I already think that Lost Ark is a little bit of a different fish than New World. And just because Amazon is going to host the servers, and by the way, they already confirmed that they have servers ready. So it's not like with other releases, even their release of New World, they said they had to go and create those servers from scratch because they didn't expect. But with Lost Ark, they said they already have servers at the ready. Plus, Lost Ark is a bit of a different game than New World, and they have much fewer to do as a studio than they had for New World, because they're just publishing it. So yeah, of course, there's gonna be queues, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as New World. Any thoughts from you guys? Not all together, guys. Please, just one at just one at a time.
Go ahead, Neeko. I mean, we both played New World, so we have probably our fair share of experience. But I'll let you.
Yeah,
go
actually,
first.
Yeah, both of you.
Yeah. Okay. So New World was a hot mess. I mean, everyone knows that. At least at the beginning, there were a lot of problems with the queues. Obviously, again, because that game was not very cross-server friendly whatsoever. So if you weren't on the right server, you were basically screwed over instantly because you didn't have competition. Or the other way around, there was way too much competition and you had insane queues, right? Different colors unsettling. And after that, the biggest problem was probably that there wasn't a grace period, at least for, I don't know if they ever introduced that. As in, like, if you get kicked out of the server, you will then again be in a queue, and then you will sit in a queue for 7 hours, 8 hours or something, and you can't play the game. So I would love if they could kind of manage a grace period at least, so you can at least keep your spot if you get kicked or something.
Mm-hmm. Thoughts, Wilky?
Yeah, well, so like Nick said, New World was safely said quite disastrous at launch, but there's a lot of reasons for this, right? Like huge streamers. We're talking like massive streamers that single-handedly were able to load out servers completely. Which ideally is not going to happen in Lost Ark. At least I hope so. So I think servers, like the actual server size, is actually going to be bigger. Also, due to the fact that a lot of the content is cross-server, I think it will actually, hopefully, this is a hope on my side, that people will split more, because there are only a few reasons to play on a streamer server, whereas you don't necessarily have to. So I think it should even itself out simply because of those reasons. And also, I think I'm praying that Amazon did actually learn from what went wrong in New World when their data centers and everything were on fire, that they, took a step back and looked at it as like, okay, we don't want to have this happen with Lost Ark as well. We did have this happen with New World. Let's not they're going to run into problems, but let's not repeat the same mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. Another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, actually, as part of today's podcast, is preparations for launch. Yeah, because we just have like what 2 days left, 2 days left, right, until launch. So I already talked to Wilky a little bit before the stream, and he said that he's preparing meals. He's doing meal prep, yeah, in order for him to live a degenerate lifestyle. We lost Kole. Goodbye, Kole. See you later. Um, so, Wilkie, tell me about your plans for launch.
Okay, well, my plans for launch are obviously play as hard as I can. So the actual planning for the game itself is fairly straightforward. Play as hard and as much as you can. I think that's the plan for most of us, but it's more about me to like get everything out of the way that could prevent me from living that degenerate life. So meal prep is one thing because I don't want to just order food all the time. I also just want to eat bread and water, like drink water. So I'm already gonna use, let's say, technologically advanced foods such as energy drinks and stuff like that to keep myself hydrated and up and running, but I don't want to completely deviate from somewhat healthy food. So I have a 5-day plan of meal prep ready. I bought some milk in the fridge so I can eat cereal, which is at least not as crazy as like eating super processed foods. And yeah, that's basically my plan. Try to keep it as a balance. Like play for 24 hours straight. Hopefully, don't get a heart attack or don't drop off the chair or do something stupid during those 24 hours. And then just take it a bit back, play like 12 hours a day, which is still fairly a lot, but at least more manageable, have a normal sleep schedule, and just have fun.
Okay. So out of those 24 hours that Wilk is planning to play, 11 are gonna be in a Zinnervale queue. What about the
Can you
what
guys
about
still
you,
hear me?
Nico? Yeah, we can still hear you,
So the
Kole, but we
camera is on,
cannot
yeah?
see you. Yeah, we cannot see you. There's a cogwheel here in the same browser chat, a cogwheel for the settings. Maybe you can go there in the settings and check under the video to see if your
Sure,
cam is
will do.
being detected.
Sure,
What
will do.
about you, Nico? Plans for launch? Did you plan
Um,
anything? Did you meal prep?
So the most important thing for me is probably that I will mute Rushed on Discord because
I
he will
can't.
ask me for carries
Yeah.
all the time. So I will just have to focus on myself a little bit more, right? So
Wait a second. So
um,
are you talking about Rushed, the other guy who's sometimes
mhm,
streaming PvP and stuff?
yeah,
Ah, that guy. Ah,
hmm
okay, yeah, definitely, absolutely mute him. He
yeah,
always asks me also for carries, like in tier 1 content
hmm
through Chaos Dungeons. He's like, can you please carry me through this Chaos Dungeon content? It's so hard. Yeah,
exactly. Like he's always asking for help, and sometimes, at least in the beginning, I have to focus on getting to tier 3, right? So some sacrifices have to be made.
okay. So no meal preps for
I
you.
mean, I do have some energy bars, and I'll probably starve to death in the first few days, but that's okay. It's if we get to tier 3, then everything was worth it.
By the way, Nico, as a PvP player
Mm.
yourself, how inclined are you to do everything it takes to get to tier 3? Because it's not going to be that easy. You're going to have to
Mm,
leave PvP aside if you really want to be one of the fastest. Are
well,
you going to do that, or
my plan was to be 100% achievement points, best Deathblade PvE, PvP, best looking, and all of those things. So, um,
okay?
yeah, I will definitely do that. PvP will be a little bit of a side project in the beginning. Although I think it's good if we get a little bit of PvP going just to get the weekly tokens.
It's just the blood flowing, yeah.
Hmm
Kole, plans for launch? Did you prepare meals? Did you send your kids away? Did you hire a nanny? Anything of sorts?
No such thing, man. I have regular food, plenty of food in the fridge. So unlike these guys, not sure I can do 24-hour stream, but first day at least 13 hours because the server reset is 13 hours from the launch, right? On the first day for any. I think so. Europeans is
Um,
shorter, yeah.
Actually, no. Wait a second. We're starting on a Tuesday. The reset is on a Thursday. And the
Hmm.
reset is on a Thursday at 3 in the night for me. So I
Mhm.
start Tuesday at 7 p.m. This is just my times, but it's the same for everyone, right? So I start on a Tuesday at 7 p.m. and then the reset is not next day on Wednesday, but the sort of we can still play full Wednesday, and then on that night after the Wednesday, on
Oh,
Thursday
really?
night at
Is
3.
that how it works? I didn't know. No reset on
This is
Wednesday?
Well, the daily reset happens on Wednesday as well, but it's essentially irrelevant for us because by the time the first reset happens on Wednesday night, none of us is going to be level 50
Yeah, so
anyway, because we
weekly
can't.
reset then.
Yeah, the weekly reset
Mhm.
is going to be Thursday, which is like the first major. Like, this is essentially the only thing we could really work out with a head start to give us an advantage. But I think for European people, it's not going to be a thing.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think we can
So
put much of a dent into
Yeah,
it.
yeah. For European
so we
people, you better like instead of trying to rush for the daily to finish the Una and the Guardian and the Chaos Dungeon, it's better to just go Shushai, finish the Shushai, get the material, come back, and then do the islands, and then end of the day, go for the highest Chaos Dungeon and raid you can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good plan because there's not enough time because they said it starts at 7. My guess
Yeah.
though is that they're gonna open servers earlier because they did that in the closed beta as well. Servers were opened earlier than the
That would be
start times.
nice. That would be
Yeah, so
nice. Yeah.
be there before. I don't know how much earlier they're gonna open them. Maybe 40 minutes earlier, an hour. I'm gonna be there 2 hours before just to be absolutely safe. Saivo, are you the father of Neeko? We don't talk about family relationships on stream, so I apologize for that. It's under NDA. $20 from RGJ Dragon, and he asked the question. Also, I appreciate it. So I'm gonna show the question as well. What's the best way to reserve a name? That's a great question, actually. I paid for bronze and will be ready to install tomorrow and play on the 7th. Anything else we can do to reserve a name? Should I answer that? Or the best way to reserve a name is actually, it's pretty simple. You stay refreshing the forums and the Twitter whenever they're going to open up the servers, and you go and create yourself a character. Keep in mind that the class that you create for yourself, um, with that character, with that name, is going to stay, because if you delete it later so you can create another class, it's not going to work out because the names need to be manually refreshed. There is a name change ticket in game, but that wouldn't help you. Any other thoughts from you guys on how to how to take your name as fast as possible? What about those? Does anyone know about those presets, character look presets, that how they work? You can take them from the Russian servers and do some modifications and apply them to the West.
I mean, first of all, I'm not even sure if I don't know if you guys know, but are names region wide? Was that confirmed?
I don't think we know how exactly it works.
We don't, but if we look at Korea, then yes, they are region wide.
Okay.
So all of NA West, all of Europe, all of NA East are going to share the same pool of names. If it goes like Korea, I mean, it should.
Yeah. I don't know about the character presets. What I did actually, because it's kind of risky, I think, if you bet on that too much, because I saw some forum posts where someone had a really nice preset and they transferred it to the beta and it was all over the place. So I think I just made a WordPad file, okay, and I wrote down like a little instruction menu, like here, this is how you make that character. I think that's the safest way to do it.
Right. Yeah, so people were asking about the resets. So the daily reset actually happens in 8 hours after the official release was confirmed. So 8 hours is not enough to get to level 50. Maybe if you're mega fast, you can do it in maybe 8 hours and a half. Maybe, I don't know. If you're like really mega fast, play a class, use your mount, use battle items, I don't know, backwards dash, zoom, backstab, and whatever. But I don't think it's possible to catch the end game level 50 daily cooldowns. That's what Kole was saying, that it's maybe better to, skip those and continue your story quest, get more mats, islands, and then get to a higher item level so that the next day before that daily reset on Wednesday, actually on Thursday, which is going to also be a weekly reset, then you would do a higher rank of you will be able to do a higher rank of a chaos dungeon, and you will have better item level to go inside the beginning raids and just feel very happy with them, as opposed to struggle and take 20 minutes to kill them. Cool. these were the prep in terms of meals. I don't have a meal prep. I actually invited my parents over. They live in another country and we don't really see each other. So I invited them over to stay with the kids and take care of the kids, as I will be a degenerate in Lost Ark, same as Wilky. Someone was asking a question for Kole. 24-hour stream on launch.
No, no, probably not.
How many hours? Tell me,
I'll,
how
I'll,
many
se-
hours? Are,
I'll,
are, are you
I'll
gonna do
send you.
1 to 50?
I'll send you guys to Wilky or Neeko or Saibo, so you guys can continue on their stream. Yeah,
I will also
Are
not do
you
24
they will
hours
be
though.
streaming 24 hours, I would think. Yeah. How many hours? I want to try to get to the first 13 hours because we are playing in any East. From what we calculate, we'll have 13 hours. So for those playing in any East, we might be able to hit 50 before reset, but we'll have to see the queue times since everybody's going regulars now. So let's see
Yeah,
what
not to
happens.
mention Qta. Wait a second. What do you
Yeah.
mean if you play NA East, you have 13 hours until the reset? Why do we have 8 and you have 13?
Because the
Uh,
servers open at the same time.
yeah.
And they have different time zone,
Yeah, but
obviously.
like the server reset is for each zone during the same, like NA nighttime, EU nighttime, and everything. But the actual server release time is not based on that.
Yeah.
So NA people get to play at the same hour that we get to play in Europe, but that means that we're going to be closer to our nighttime than NA people.
Exactly. So any
That is
East will
a
have 13 hours lead.
that is a considerable advantage in my opinion.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
you will
what the
recover from that.
Yeah.
Of
But it
course you will
doesn't
recover.
matter.
I'm joking, but
After
I, but
after a week
but
or
I'm just
two. Yeah.
I what do you mean? So what are you saying? That Stoops is gonna be a higher item level than me just
Not there.
because he
There's
gets
no
to do
way.
the but he gets to do 2 chaoses and 2 guardian raids and daily
Yeah, but
quests.
he's busy thinking about the artist class already. I don't think he will be, too far
Stoops as
into
an
the.
artist. What?
Yeah. He's really into that character, I heard.
Holy cow. Okay, that's the first time I hear it. All right. So, yeah, what class is Neeko going for? This is a question for Neeko.
I will level a Deathblade first, and I mean, we did see that we have knowledge transfer, so then I will go with Shadowhunter after that.
All right.
Deathblade gang.
Ambu, speaking about knowledge transfer, another topic that I wanted to discuss with you guys today. Um, Knowledge transfer, right? You get to 50, you make your 600 gold, and then you spend it all on knowledge transfer. Tell me why. Pros and cons. Why wouldn't I buy with the 600 gold? Why wouldn't I buy some cheap grudge that someone's selling and later on keep it to sell it for thousands of gold? Why would I boost a character that I can spend, granted 10 more hours, granted boring, blah blah blah, we get all of that. But is it the best thing to do? And have a level 302 alt who does what at end game for you? Farms more tier 1? Do you really need tier 1? More mats for tier 1? Do you really need to? Tell me your thoughts on this. Efficiency wise, is it worth it? I know 600 gold is very few in the grand scheme of things when you're making 1,500 from Oreja. We get all of that, but right now you're not.
I mean, it basically depends on what your personal goals are and what your values are. Yes, 600 gold is going to be a lot at the start of the game, but likewise, you're not going to be needing that gold very early on because you need it when you upgrade on like +8 or +10 gear. But during those 8 hours of that knowledge transfer, you can still just do everything else on your main character. And to the point, I get what you're trying to say with like, I can spend the gold to buy something cheap and resell it later. It doesn't work with engraving books because they're only sellable once. So if you buy Grudge 1, you can't sell it because it's going to be bound to you. So the only thing you could try and buy and resell it later would be materials. But I don't think that tier 1 materials are going to be more expensive in the future. I think they will drop in price considerably after a few weeks. So I don't really think that you need the gold early on. So in my opinion, yes, it's probably the best way to spend it, at least on one extra character. That character can help you farm Una dailies, unlock specific other things. This is something I don't want to go too deep because I'll ramble for 5 minutes, but just to just to clarify this, you need to do a lot of Epona or Una dailies to unlock collectibles and a few other things. And the more alts you have, the easier it is to spread those alts out to do those either boring or useless Unas because they don't give you materials that you need, so you can't focus on your main, while your alts just do any useless Epona to get the reputation going.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about other stuff that you could potentially buy and resell, like for example potions?
I don't think there's going to be a lot in the market at the beginning to buy for a lot of gold. I do get your point that, like, ideally you'd make like tenfold the golds, like buy, I don't know, 10 potions for 5 gold each and resell those potions for 20 gold later on. I think the chances of actually making so much bank are too little. There might be people that can flip the market. I'm not saying it's not impossible, like it is possible, but I think just for the sake of simplicity and just in order to play the game more actively, I think just boosting at least one alt. I wouldn't boost like 4 alts and spend like 2,400 gold on it, because that's going to put you into a bad spot. But I think the initial 600 gold it probably takes like 2 weeks for that alt to earn that gold back that you spend on him. So I think it's
Mhm.
always worth it for the first character.
All right. I see Cole is agreeing. He's nodding.
Yes, I agree. Especially about
Yeah.
the reputation part on Una. It's better to do those like what Wilkie said, the useless Una that we don't need things on it with our main, and there are so many things to do, and we'll need a lot of pirate coins. So if you can do some of those Unas, a couple of alts doing Unas that eventually give you a lot of pirate coins early enough, that's going to give you a huge advantage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Someone was saying the more classes, the more fun you're gonna have. Yeah, I agree with this comment as well. All right, perfect. This was on the knowledge transfer. Another question about what do you guys think is the big announcement
Oh,
that the game director is gonna have tomorrow? Because they said, I cannot find the tweet right now, but they said there's gonna be a big announcement made by the game director called Golden River. By the way, Golden River. Yeah. Okay. This is how his name
Mhm.
was translated, or at least this is how he wanted to go with it. That's perfectly fine. We love him. So what do you guys think can still be a big announcement for us? We got tier 3, we got the sorceress instead of the summoner, we got the striker and all of the other things that happened. What could possibly still be big?
I actually have no fucking idea. I think at the end of
No
the
idea.
day, it's about whether or not they have something else planned that we don't know of yet. But at the same time, is there really anything like that? Because we already know about the DirectX 11 now, which everyone was speculating about, and
Yeah.
now I'm not sure. Maybe they will have a prop. I mean, they talked about a roadmap already, I think, but I think that was separate from that big announcement. So I'm really not sure.
Okay, this is the tweet, by the way, right here. Kole, what do you think? What could possibly be big for us? Because it's
Yeah,
obviously going to be in terms of content, and they're obviously not going to say, "Hey, we're going to add Argos also." Uh, so
yeah.
what's
I
going to
have
be
no
big?
idea, man. Sorry, Saibo. I have no idea as well.
No idea, no guesses either.
No guesses either. Couldn't be
Wilkie?
Argos, right? Yeah.
I mean, I talked about this yesterday on my stream, and there's two things that come into mind. One
Oh,
actually
wait,
was
Wilkie, you stream? Where do you stream?
I stream on
Oh, on
Twitch. What do I mean?
on Twitch. Okay. Your link is in the description below, by the way. Okay, gotcha. Okay, go on.
Um,
Sorry.
no, I like there's two things. My personal thought is a new class, like that they actually started with 16 classes instead of 15. That would be something that I would say is considered
Female
huge because
Zerker?
maybe if, like
Ooh.
that would be over the top, but like imagine they actually bring Summoner back, for example, right? I can see them doing
Woo!
that happening because
Woo!
Summoner
Yes!
Summoner has been
Yes!
field tested, right? So it's something like I see them do them without risking a lot of like potential issues because it's been there in the
Mm.
beta, so they know they have the data and everything worked there. So I can see that one. And some of my viewers actually said that they could see them release Rowan. And I'm like, I don't exactly know
Mm.
how Rowan really works, so I think it's not going to be a thing.
But it's
But that
1445.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
would say, like item level everything. I don't think that's going to be a thing, but I do actually believe that they could shoot out another class. I do think Summoner would fit the best simply because it was already here, but maybe they just
Yeah.
bring Reaper or maybe even Artist. Who knows?
I could
Some
see
people
that.
are saying, so, actually, speaking of which, I also thought that the artist could potentially be the big thing that gets revealed here. Now, it would be absolutely bonkers if they release another class period, but that being the artist would be absolutely mega bonkers because so many people will absolutely enjoy the artist in the West. I don't know. I don't know. I'm conflicted, but the thing that I think would be the only two things that could potentially be big, like big enough to warrant this tweet, are either a new class or the 1v1 arena. Like, just
Oh,
reveal for us in the West, straight from the get go. No shit, right? Let's go. I think that some people were saying that the new trailer that's not big. It's a trailer.
yeah.
It's not like big to put to for the game director uh, to yeah to reveal. Maybe a new trailer for the future. What if we get mini games? That's another big thing, right?
I
Mini
mean,
games.
I don't know how far advanced they are in their little roadmap in Korea as well, right? There was also sieges happening now in Rowan, I think, pretty soon. I think I remember saying that. And there's obviously so many other things, but maybe estate stuff could be a thing too, because we could access that from the get go because that's horizontal progression, right? But I don't know if that
Mm-hmm.
would count as a big announcement.
Mm-hmm. All classes. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think either some classes or this 1v1. But we're gonna see tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day when we're actually gonna see. Um, Started watching you last night due to Asmongold. Today I bought Platinum Founders Pack. Thank you so much, and thanks to Asmongold, by the way. Thank you for the donation. Um, what else do we have to talk about? I actually also wanted to talk about some other things that are not questions. I wanted to discuss, for example, the impact of taking it slow. Now, like taking it slow with leveling, looking around, getting your vistas, interacting with that juicy looking Mokoko seed out in the open world. I know we all want to be nice, to new players. We all want to be as forthcoming as we possibly can. But there is a reason why every veteran player is not gonna take it slow. Now, I believe that at the same time where we want to be nice to people and forthcoming and we don't want to present Lost Ark in any, let's say, negative light because it's not a negative game, it's a very positive game, we still have to, sometimes tell people the benefits of doing this or doing that. Someone was even asking in the chat, what is the impact of taking it slow? Who wants to take this question?
I think Wilky knows the most about this.
I guess I'll be the Grinch here for the community. First of all, there is obviously the choice for people that want to take it slow and take a more casual approach, and there's by default nothing wrong with that. What I think is the implication of that is, first of all, you're not going to be an early adopter, but that's like in any MMORPG. Whenever you rush, you have the opportunity to cater to markets that nobody else has charted first, so you have the potential like early adopter advantage, which in Lost Ark isn't that crazily good, but it still applies here. What I think, though, some people genuinely don't understand when they say they take it slow, Lost Ark is a game that unfolds the more you play. So you don't really get more by taking it slower than, let's say, somebody who's gunning for 50 and then doing it. I think it's more nuanced than that, in a way that you have to differentiate somebody who wants to rush to tier 3 and somebody who wants to explore tier 1. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I do think that whenever people say, oh, I'm going to take it slow to hit level 50, I think those people will bite themselves in the ass until they realize, like after they realized, everything I basically did until level 50 was kind of like a big tutorial. So I think it's more about, if you want to rush to tier 3, do it. If you don't want to rush to tier 3, but you want to explore tier 1 and tier 2, I think that's fine as well. Just don't go around and stick to like the whole leveling process and I'm level 40 now. I'm going to explore everything that I can, which is like 2 things in the continent and an extra map, maybe. Meanwhile, everybody is actually playing the full game, and you're like trying to find a Makoko that you can't find because you're not level 50 because there's something that's holding you back. So I think people should really just go for level 50, and after that they can decide, take a more leisure approach or rush for endgame.
Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to also add to what Wilky was saying, by saying that just because we use these words like rush or I don't know, speed or whatever, that doesn't mean it's a bad experience. That doesn't mean it's something horrible that's forcing you to do something else. It's just a way of doing things, and you're still gonna get to explore everything the game has to offer. But in the long-term run, you're not gonna ever feel that you did something wrong, and because of that you are now behind, or some people from your guild have done that and they are already at higher item levels, and they might not necessarily be interested in doing low level content with you. You have to find some other people. So it's all like a big wheel of implications. What do you think, Kole, about this rushing to 50 or not rushing to 50? um, um, Rushing through content later on, or playing the game efficiently as it stands?
Um, videos, camera is popping in and out. I have no idea why.
It's
Per-
perfectly fine.
Perfect
You
freeze
can,
frame.
yeah, yeah. It's a good face
Right.
that was there, so you can just talk over it.
That looks so weird. It's like I'm sleeping through the whole thing. Just a minute, let me try to fix that first. Then.
We're that boring. You're done.
Oh, he's back.
Okay, there we go. Okay. I hope it freezes here then. So tell us, Kole, about about the leveling process and going fast through
Right.
through
Okay.
content.
My advice would be for new players, if they want to discover the story of Lost Ark, then they should play according to their pace. For us veterans, we have played this game long enough. We know that the real end game is we need to reach 50, and then there's raid and all the other stuff. So it'll be up to players, man. So for people who have already played this in Russia, Korea, Japan, we will definitely be going to rush fast. But if new players, you want to take your time, enjoy the story, enjoy the cinematics, and from what we saw, they have done like really good job of doing voiceover and stuff. So if you want to enjoy all that, go ahead and enjoy it, but don't spend too much time on it because you need to reach 50, and that's where the real game starts. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Someone was asking, I want to see the cinematics. Will I be slow? No, go ahead and see the cinematics. Level up your first character. Okay, so listen, leveling up. This is not a problem. Level up as slow as you want. Take 3 days to level up. That's fine. The fact that you're gonna miss 3 daily cooldowns or whatever, that's not gonna be a problem. And in 3 days, you have plenty of time to watch all the cinematics, gather all the mokokos, look at the vistas, and do everything that your heart desires to do. I also did that the first time I leveled up. I'm pretty sure Cole did as well, Wilky did as well. It's fine. We have good memories. Do that. But afterwards, at least when you get to 50, don't go back, level up another character, watch again the cutscenes and stuff. At least, after level 50, do the right things, right? I have a couple of things to
I do want to
say.
say one thing though
Yeah,
to
go
that.
for it. Yeah, please.
Because I think the real end game, after all, is maxing out your affinity with cute characters and getting to the secret cutscenes. So I think you should be focusing on that mainly in the beginning.
Yes, I can agree to that. There's a
The
scene
end
with
game.
Sasha. That is the real end game.
I wanted to say the same thing. That's the sex scene with Sasha. That's the end game in Lost
Oh,
Ark.
don't
If you
say it.
don't
Don't
get to,
reveal it.
Oh shit. Okay, sorry,
That's
my bad.
spoilers.
Yeah, no, sex in my country means something completely different than in yours,
Oh.
guys. Don't worry. Yeah, it's just non-related. So I wanted to catch up with a couple of things. Say thank you for all of you who have donated in today's stream. You also asked some questions. Should we uninstall our VPN? I really don't want to lose my account from exit lag use. Yeah, you can uninstall your VPN because at the moment we believe that you do not need a VPN to actually play the game, but just maybe to create your account. If you already have an account from an allowed region, then that's perfectly fine. Another question was how likely will it be for any of the region lock countries to eventually get the game? This is a question that I cannot answer simply because there is a chance that many countries will get unlocked, but there is also a chance that that they won't. Yeah. What's the best way to save two names at launch? We actually discussed this earlier. You log in fast and you create characters on classes that you know you want to play, and that's the best way to actually do it. Did I complain about the few likes on the stream? Thank you so much for liking this stream, by the way. There's nothing not to like. We have Kole, we have Neeko, we have Wilky. So absolutely, definitely hit that
And we
like
have
button.
Savo.
The director, the director stated in a video that he wants to show his trailer to the world, not the one from Amazon. Okay, sure. Okay, fine. You know what? Be it. One of you said that the way Game Week handled the Founders Pack giveaway was pretty shitty. So you wouldn't be surprised that the big announcement would actually not be so big and it would be just a trailer, like the game director's trailer, even though I would love to see what his trailer might actually be for the world. Korean players would get upset if we get content before them. Absolutely not. Japanese players got patch 2.0 before Koreans did. Just saying, so you know, it was available in the Japanese closed beta test, and Koreans were very happy that their favorite game is also released in other regions and made even better. Korean players are actually quite nice. I also wanted to show you another thing. Here. Speaking about Korean players, right? Look what they did so that they can be nice. Do you see this? Let me just zoom in. This website called loawa.com, I will post it to you in chat as well. This is a website where you can get a lot of nice information about builds and classes and what's happening on the Korean side of things. Obviously, all of these builds that you might see here are meant for their end game, right? And this is their player progression in terms of item level and who's the best item level in that zone. But they also added, yeah, an English version of the website Loawa. They translated it in English just for us to use, or for some of us to actually get an insight on what's happening on the Korean side of things. This is very nice, and this is something that many Korean players have done since way back in the days to support Lost Ark in other regions, including with our region lock thing, where they have been absolutely very supportive for many countries to get unblocked to actually play the game. Yeah, cool. What else do we have here? Are pets and mounts account bound?
Yes. Server, right? Or is it actually the entire account?
Server wide.
Yep.
Server wide. Another question. Kole, what will be your first character on your main? Or your main?
I think you're muted.
Muted. Cole, Steve, you're muted.
It's fine. I can pretend I'm Kole. Look, I'm gonna move myself here. I believe that my main class will be an artillerist, because artillerist
Perfect.
is very good to play with the big ping. Yeah, there you go. I did that for Kole. Can you make bank by crafting in this game, Wilky?
If you're smart about it, yes.
How do you do it? You just gather all the time whenever the energy is available. You just do it.
I'm
I
back.
mean, Welcome back, Steve. It's a bit layered, which is why I said if you're smart about this, because a lot of like Smilegate tried to limit the flipping potential in this game quite considerably, so people don't just sit in the marketplace the entire day and don't actually play it. There are still some points where you can do it, but gathering is obviously one big part of it, and using your energy properly and having the right tools and also having the right timings to sell items, to maybe get items from other players, to craft them. So there's a lot of nuances that go in there. Like you need the right tools, you need to know what to craft, when to craft it. You want to make sure to use every bonus that you can potentially get. But yeah, if you're good about this, if you're smart about this, and if this is something that you like, you can also actually make quite the fortune with crafting this game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Holy cow! Holy cow! So okay, that was my ears. Just a second, I need to unplug my ears. Okay. Now it's time to vote to kick Kole out of the podcast. This is the time right here. I'm joking, of course.
That was the
some-
wake up call. Everybody's awake now. Look at the chat.
Okay, his. Ooh. Okay, just a second. I think I can fix it. I think I can fix it.
Whew. Luckily, I have the volume on like medium settings, but I'm sorry for
Okay.
everybody who's in chat.
Okay. Apologies for the for the craze. Let me just make sure that doesn't happen, and I'm not sure how I can make sure that doesn't happen again. First, we're gonna mute him, and then we're gonna chat with him in private. Whew. I'm also pretty deaf right now. There we go. Okay, let's. We're gonna give him a moment until he manages to fix his thing. Let's continue with another topic that I actually wanted to talk about with you guys.
Wilky's already prepared.
Okay, so Wilky's not even listening anymore. It's all it's done. It's all
I
done.
can still hear you. Don't worry. Okay.
Okay, so now that he's muted, so I'm gonna keep him muted for now. Yeah, I'm gonna keep him muted. Okay, so another topic that I actually wanted to discuss until Kole maybe fixes his thing. We don't hear you, Kole, by the way. You're still muted. We're gonna give you a couple of minutes there. I'm not sure what we can do, but I don't want that sound again. I apologize. It's just really a crazy sound. So I cannot have it anymore because I'm gonna die. Okay. Another topic that I wanted to discuss is wait. I actually I lost all my thoughts. They just went away from one ear to the other. By the way, pet. I wanted to discuss the pets also. Apparently, the pets were leaked again from I'm not sure exactly from where, but the pets were again leaked. It appears that the pet effect. This is a picture from the PTS server that someone captured, or maybe someone didn't capture. This seems to be like a tweet, right? It says here that stat bonuses provided by pets appear to be permanent and not tied to battle pass, as in subscription. Now, this part right here that's not captured in this particular image is still gonna be tied, see, by pets, by tied to the premium membership. But these effects right here, they seem to be without the premium, as this tweet hints. They seem to be available for everyone. This is another really awesome change if this would be true. What do you guys think about it?
Yeah, if that's the case, that's huge, I think. People would log in, see the pet bonus, and see, oh, you have to subscribe for that. I don't know if I want to, deal with that right now. So I think this is great. And like, if that's actually the case, that will be a lot, less bad for the surface level of the game, right? Like new people coming in and seeing that. Now they have the bonus, get the pet for free in the beginning as well. Easy.
All right, Wilky,
Yeah,
all
that would
good,
be
perfect.
that would be pretty huge if they do that. It would be another step into the non-pay to win direction, and I think it's pretty much like Neeko said. It would make a lot of people happy because it removes any potential attack angle from people's like, oh, you need pet stats, and it's like, oh, pay to win stats. Even though that's not true, and pretty much everybody of us knows this, that it's not really pay to win, but people will still voice their concerns. So if that's a built-in feature, I think that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. All right. Someone was asking what are the bonuses. Maybe you can talk a little bit about these two bonuses that we were showing.
I mean, the two that we, in this particular image, the one just increases your critical rate and the other one increases your HP. So how these stats work is you don't actually get like a flat value. If it says critical 10%, you don't have a 10% crit chance. But inside of Lost Ark, you have a stat that is called crit or critical, I think. And that can have a number, let's just say for this example, you have 700 points in critical. So with that pet effect, you would have now 770 points in critical. That's how these bonuses
Mm-hmm.
work.
Mm-hmm. All right. And they're good stats, right? And in just to give some context for other players, in other regions, for example, in other regions they are paid. Yeah, in other regions you need to um, rent them on a monthly basis. These two stats. And they cost blue diamonds which you can buy either with gold or real money. So for us, they appear to be free without any renting feature and also without being even part of the premium membership, which is great, right? In general, they might be part of the premium. Maybe if this is from the PTS, which it appears to be, maybe it's not finalized or whatnot. Does crit work with mages? Do mage spells also crit? Yes. We're gonna try right now. So listen, guys that are watching, take your headphones off, okay? So take your headphones off. Do not listen to the podcast because I'm trying with Kole. We're gonna bring him back and remove your headphones. Turn the volume down until I give you 2 thumbs up. I'm gonna give you 2 thumbs up when you put them back. Okay? Let's go. Let's do 3, 2, 1. We're unmuting Kole. Doesn't work.
That sounds
Doesn't
like a
work.
broken microphone to me.
Okay, you can come back now. It doesn't work, right? Um, it just doesn't work. He's still bugged. We're gonna try again, maybe a little bit later. Maybe he can unplug his mic, restart his PC, and then we can retry. Yeah. Cool. So we're back. Where were we? Yeah, with we were back with the we were back with the pets. So someone was asking, did they ever fix Hawkeye sharpshooter? Yeah, it was buffed. I don't know, last year, 20% more damage on all of the skills basically. So it's a decent class right now. Um, Another thing I wanted to talk about are um, I actually forgot and I actually forgot what I wanted to talk about. Oh, wait, look, this is an interesting question uh, for Wilky.
I was already answered it in chat. So how this works
Oh.
is you have one defensive and one offensive. Like I want to call it offensive stat. So you can't roll like 10% HP and 50 and 5% HP, but it's always going to be like one defensive one. So most people just roll HP because it's universally good. And the other stat is used accordingly to what your character uses. So if your character has a lot of critical rate or a lot of crit stats, then go for crit. If your character uses a lot of agility, you want to boost agility. So pick the stat that matches the character's most used stat.
Mm-hmm. Someone was asking a question about classes. Where was it? This one right here. Maybe you can give an overview of PvE and PvP as well with Neeko.
Okay, I'll do the PvE part then and let Neeko do the PvP.
The PvE god, anyway.
I'm not a PvE god. I don't even know where this came from. Anyways,
From Lino.
Yeah, I don't know why you called me that. So Scrapper and War Dancer both have fairly different playstyles. One is, I mean, they're both martial artists. War Dancer is a little bit more on the kick or on the feet side. For those of you who are more into feet, Scrapper is a bit more on the punchy side. So she's also using a little bit more of some martial artsy magic, if you will. So she has a few abilities where she summons like balls or shoots out energy.
Mm.
Whereas the martial art, the War Dancer is a bit more into like a Tatsumaki for those of you who play Street Fighter, and so she has a bit more nuanced and I would say finesse kind
And
of martial art
tornadoes.
skills. Yeah, tornadoes. Whereas the Scrapper is a little bit more of a brawly type of class. I don't think there's any more rewarding than the other. They both have distinct playstyles. If you like slapping and punching people in the face, play Scrapper. If you like kicking people in the face, play War Dancer.
Yeah,
What
and
about
for
for PvP, Neeko?
for the PvP part, first of all, the gold isn't a problem for that, obviously. PvP is completely equalized, at least the match-made one, so ranked and everything. You will not have any gold issues. You may have silver issues with the Awakening Stones if you're not high enough level for the silver tokens, but more into feet. But yeah, so War Dancer and Scrapper and PvP are actually quite different classes because Scrapper tries to use her double dash very aggressively so she can actually dodge 2 hard CCs back to back. If you play it perfectly, War Dancer is more of an in and out class, but Wilky already said that it's more of a Scrapper is more of a brawler and War Dancer is more of I don't know, an opportunist. Let's say it like that. And obviously, War Dancer also brings a little bit of team utility in a defense reduction or defense increase, I should say, buff. So normally, War Dancer is considered, better in your team.
Mm-hmm. Someone was asking, do these pet effects work in the arena? No, they don't. Someone else was asking, which class gives the crit buff? War Dancer and Striker. Any other?
I mean, War Dancer, Striker have the same buff. Lancemaster or Glavier, what the Western counterpart is, actually having the exact same buff, but we don't have that at launch. But once we have it, also Gunslinger and Deadeye have a different kind of crit buff, which is permanently on. So it's like a lower crit chance that you get, but a basically permanent one. And I'm not entirely certain, but I think there's Demonic or Shadowhunter has somewhere a crit chance, but don't nail me on that one.
What class is the best if you're not into feet or fists, but into boobs instead? Too complicated question.
Yeah,
A sorceress. I'm gonna answer that.
That's a pretty in-depth question.
That feels like a debate.
I answered that. I took one for the team. Okay, people are gonna blame me for being, I don't know what, nationalist again. Pet inventory cross pets under subscription. Yes, all of the this feature that's under subscription with the convenience from the pets, is for all of your pets and all of your characters as well. Another one that I found that's good. Which do you think is a more rewarding class if gold wasn't a problem? Scrapper or War Dancer, related to what we were talking?
Wait.
Huh? You mean like what other classes? Not only those two, or
No. Like if let's say if you're a whale and you have all the gold, you're an oiler, you have all the gold in the world, and should you play a Scrapper or a War Dancer?
That's a tough one. Both have things to bring to the table. I do think though that War Dancer will take the edge there.
I think I would agree with that. Although, if it was just me, I would definitely play Scrapper over that. I like the juicy one punch man ultimate, and nothing's gonna stop me from using that.
There you go. What are the drawbacks of playing on a low populated server?
I mean, the only thing I could really think of is the GVG scene, although that will also depend how big it is in general. And on top of that, maybe the new Siege scene, if there will be one in the future. In Korea, we don't even have that in Korea yet, right? And outside of that, obviously guilds. I think, in general. So like if you want to join a good guild, a good competitive guild, a guild that fits you, obviously you have way more options on a popular server, right?
Any other things that you can think of, Wilkie?
I mean, like I said, I don't really think there's a drawback unless we're talking about a dead server, which I think none of the servers are hopefully going to be. Basically, anything that's open world could have times of the day. For example, like you're on like a night shift or something, or you want to play during off hours on your on like let's say you're on the European server and you're going to be playing during midnight, like 3 a.m. in the morning. It might be that world events are less populated than on other servers. But that's usually only a con for those people who are really playing at those hours. But I think there's also advantages compared to that. So outside of this, like Neeko said, guilds are obviously going to be fewer, and competition and open world stuff like Rowan, which we don't have yet, but we'll get at some point, might be fewer. But I don't think, like, unless we're talking about a dead server, I don't think there's a huge drawback to begin with.
I love dead servers. I can gather all the materials I want. There's always free.
Wait, didn't you say you wanted to go to Kadan?
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be a dead server because everyone else is going Zinnervale, which I'm happy. Kadan dead server confirmed. What are any good program to keep track of all of your characters if you have done your dailies, weeklies? This is actually gonna be a feature in game. I don't think it's going to come at the beginning, even though I don't know. Maybe this is the big announcement tomorrow. But it's going to be a feature in game where you can actually keep track from. You just press escape, and then when you click a character, it has on the right hand side. It's currently available in Korea. Has on the right hand side the things that you still have cooldowns available for, and there's also a separate menu where you can actually check the content itself, like raids or a biz dungeon and stuff, to see what you have done. So it's going to be in game. Other than that, I don't know of any outside program, for example, like Guild Wars 2 has, where you can maybe keep track of these things. Can you help Neeko get out of bronze? Well, I cannot because I'm also there in bronze.
I'm not bronze. Okay,
He's
I'm
not
silver.
bronze. He's silver. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he can help me get out of bronze. How do you know what stat is good for your class? Jesus, this is like such a beginner question. I love these questions. Like people still ask these questions. How cool is this? Like, how do you know what stat is good for your class? Awesome. Go ahead, Wilkie.
So obviously the easiest way to figure out what's good or what classes or what stats your class are using is checking builds. For example, on the site that Simon linked, so the Lowawa page, that's probably the easiest way. Although you always have to put this into perspective at what kind of game stage you're in, because typically the builds you see on a sites like this are like super far ahead in end game, which is something that we don't have. Usually the builds go in a very similar direction. Outside of this, the answer is fairly simple if you follow, I guess, like 2 to 3 rules. And that's, do you have a lot of built-in crit? That means your character doesn't really need a whole lot of critical to begin with. Does your character like need cooldown reduction or like movement speed or anything? Then you run agility. If you don't need any of those two, it's very likely that your character is using the specialty. I think specialization is the name of it in the Western servers. Like if you don't need crit from stat and if you don't need agility, you're going to run specialty. That's like the very, very basic rundown.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Someone was asking, and I can elaborate. Shall we try Kole one more time? I see some hashtag free Kole. So I need you guys again to take your headphones off, just in case. Turn down your volume, and I'm gonna give you 2 thumbs up when it's okay. Yeah. So we're gonna do it in 3, 2, 1. Let's try it out.
Testing.
Yeah, seems to be
Seems
okay.
fixed. Seems to be
Mhm.
Seems
fixed.
to be okay.
Yep.
Guys,
Okay.
everyone in the stream, so sorry.
I'm gonna
something happened. I had to unplug and plug it back in, and then it messed up.
I'm gonna
Just
keep
sorry about that.
I'm gonna keep my mouse hovered over the mute button. However, I cannot promise those of you who are watching that it's not gonna happen again. So maybe watch at a bit of a lower volume, yeah? Someone was asking what is server specific. Can you elaborate what is server specific and what is region based? And yes, I can do that. I will share with you my screen so I can show you. I'm actually not sure that I can. This is from the Discord, right?
And
I
the
will
spreadsheet you showed earlier with the different servers also has all of those information, all of those informations.
really.
Hmm.
Okay,
On the
so
left
I'm
side.
gonna I have them right here at the ready. So let's just show them like this. So the cross server, what is available cross server is our raids, dungeons, cube, platinum fields, auction house, character names, boss rush, PvP arenas. Yeah, this you can do with people from, and you will do them if you just match up by the match button. You will do them with people from all the servers in your region. Server specific things are guilds, friends, the friend list, islands, open world, stronghold, which is your housing plot. So other people from other server cannot come and visit you and play games with you on your housing plot. GVG, life skills, unranked, arena premates, like queuing as a party. Yeah, this is cross server in Korea. We don't know actually how this is going to be for us in the West. Um, if you wait a second, if you create a party and you do unranked, is this like only gonna match you with other people from your own server, Neeko?
No, it doesn't. But you can only be in a group when you're on the same server, right? So that's what is restricting this, because you can't use a separate browser window like the other, types of content. So in that sense, that will
Right.
probably stay, I'm guessing.
Right. I get you. And then it also says here. Let me just at the bottom. Nothing is cross region. Yeah, nothing is cross region. So you cannot play with people from NA West, assuming you are playing in NA East. Cool. This stream has been a lot of questions from people in the chat, but most of these questions, and the reason why I'm doing this for this stream, is that most of these questions are actually things that I wanted to discuss anyway, just in a different kind of order. This actually we already got into. Maybe something that maybe Kole can answer. Is playing the auction house a thing in Lost Ark for big gold gains? Can you buy stuff cheap, pay attention, and then sell for much more expensive, Kole? And if yes, do you know of any of these things that you could possibly do it with?
Yes, it is possible. From having played for 3 years in Korea, I have seen the trend come and go. Some people made a lot of gold buying certain things. So, for those of you guys in the stream, as I revealed in one of the video recently, when you farm Dark Fox, is it Night Fox Yoho? That leapstone, that is gonna be some premium item, man. Because we're gonna be using that a lot for upgrade for a long time. So if you can farm that, or if you can get that cheap, you're gonna make money. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, it's possible. Anyone wants to tackle this question, or we jump to the next one?
I think it's easy. We don't know if there is. I hope there is, but as far as I'm concerned, there hasn't been any official word that there's going to be a cap of accounts or something, because people have to realize there should be no such thing as a character cap, but like an account cap. For example, what I mean by that is maybe there's 10,000 people that can play on a server. So that means 10,000 accounts should be able to play in a server, because otherwise you can't make alt characters or something like that, which would be horrendously stupid. Imagine being locked into a server that's your main server, but you can't make an alt character on that server because they locked the character creation away. So if they do implement some kind of lock, it has to be account wide and not character wide.
Mm-hmm. I also wanted to say thank you for the donations, by the way. Mike Gardner with the £2. You should have put your question there. Sorry, I didn't see it. There's a lot of questions, and there's different chats that I have for this restream and then for YouTube. I don't see, let's say, donations in the restream chat. I have to search for them in another chat in YouTube. Also, thank you for the 20 from RGJ Dragoon. He says that I bought the game on Steam. Will be playing NA East. Do I need to make an account with Lost Ark as well? Does it link to Steam? So for people who buy this game from Amazon, I believe. I think that you're gonna be sent a code that you redeem on Steam. I believe that's what Rox said. That's how it's gonna work. So you redeem this code like a gift card on Steam, and that's how it's gonna work. Thank you for becoming a member, Jessica, or not Jessica, Jessica, yeah, actually, and Mysterio as well. We have a very interesting question actually. The best time to start collecting collectibles? Collecting collectibles. Who wants to tackle this one? I'm putting you to good work.
All right, I don't want to talk about this all much, but again, I made videos on all these topics actually. Shameless self-plug number 2 or 3 in this stream.
Wait a
Excuse me.
second. Wait a second. Are you also on YouTube? You also create
Yeah.
videos on you?
Happens
Oh my
to be that
god.
I'm also on YouTube.
What about you, Cole? You're also on YouTube, huh? You also have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I have it open.
Yeah,
Watching
there you
things.
go. There's so many YouTubers here. And Neeko also has started posting stuff on YouTube, huh? Some guides, some CC, some combos, some... I saw those guides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead, Wilky. With that collectibles, I'm sorry. I apologize.
All good. I think there is no best time when you should collect them, but that kind of ties into what I said earlier, is I wouldn't worry about getting collectibles until you're level 50, because some of those collectibles are going to be locked behind specific things. I don't want to spoil it too much, so I'll just word it this way. In order to get some collectibles, you need to get other things first, which a lot of those are only going to be available to you if you're level 50. So I guess the best time to do those collectibles is after you're level 50. There's one thing that I would say is Giant's Hearts, or one of the collectibles, are probably the single-handedly most important collectible that you should start getting early on, because it'll benefit your account greatly. Other than that, it's more like if you feel like doing collectibles, if you like exploring, getting in touch with some of the story and some of the NPCs in the game, then whenever you have the time or whenever you feel like it after you're level 50, go do it.
Okay. A question that actually 2 people here can answer, because we have some very experienced gunslinger players, or that kind of class players, let's say this. So I was told to avoid gunslinger if I have a high ping or bad internet, as the class requires a lot of weapon swapping to be efficient. What do you think, Kole?
Yes, please don't do it. Don't
That was
bring
brutal.
Based.
don't bring disgrace to gunslingers and deadeyes by messing up the gun swapping in the middle of raid.
Oh god.
And in the middle of PvP,
Okay.
people are wondering, what are you doing, man? Swap the gun
Well,
ready.
why are you there AFK with your pistols without cooldowns? Go to shotgun, huh? Wilky, what do you think? Is it should it be avoided with high ping?
I mean, if you're good enough at adapting and getting used to your ping, I don't think it's going to be a massive problem. There will come a time though that no matter how good or how proficient you are when playing with high ping, at some point the weapon swap will jam up and either make you do something you don't want to do or actually get you killed. So yes, there is a pretty huge disadvantage for a class like Gunslinger or Deadeye to be played with high ping. I wouldn't say downright avoid it, but be aware that there might be things that you're not as good as if you were to play another class.
All right. What are some advice that this is one of my topics that I had written down? Some advice on in case you like a future class, a class that's not yet released. Do you guys have any advice for new players who might see a video of a Lance Master or some other cool class that's coming in the future? What can they possibly do to be, let's say, ready for that?
I mean, the obvious answer to that is save up a lot of material, save up a lot of gold. So when the class does release, you can push it immediately to your main level, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Wilkie, since you're the PvE god.
I think that's mostly it. There's one thing I want to add is, like, if you have a main from any of the other servers, like for myself, I'm also a Lance Master main actually. don't go into
Gross.
Lost Ark on the Western servers
Gross.
with the idea that you're always not gonna have that one main. Like, play any other class that you would play as an alt and play it as a main until we actually have the announcement. Because I feel, and I don't want to scare all the Lance Masters out there, because I'm also one of them. I feel like due to how the
Gross.
releases and everything were happening, I think
Disgusting.
Lance Master might be one of the latest classes to actually surface on the Western servers. So much so that we can speak like maybe 6 or 12 months down the line until we get their hands on it. And you don't want to gimp around until the Lance Master comes out. So just play any other class, and once we have a roadmap, or like, oh, we're gonna get Lance Master in 2 months, start saving, start piling up materials, get everything polished up, and then do a switcheroo. And also, what I mean gross. Lance Master is not gross. You all want the Lance Master in your team in PvE anyway. I'm not talking about PvP, but PvE, everybody
Disgusting.
loves Lance Masters. So you're gonna be crying for Lance Masters in your party to carry your sorry asses. You'll see.
Oh god, that's so funny. So someone was asking, for those of you who are playing currently in Russia, he or she is actually a native Russian player of Lost Ark. Will their region die out when all of the many Westerners, quite frankly, let's just say it as it is, there's thousands of people there playing. I'm just gonna be frank. So let's have a PvP take from Neeko, and then maybe a PvE take from Wilky, since he's also been playing there a lot.
Well, I think judging by most of the top Russian players going to EU for, I mean, the most optimal ping, obviously. I think, especially looking at how slow the update schedule is in Russia, and that there's a good chance now that we will actually have a more up-to-date PvP patch on launch than Russia does now after like 2 years. I mean, we don't have any confirmation of that just yet, but if that happens, there's no way that people will play Russia over EU if they have the chance to.
Okay. Wilkie, as for PvE content, currently there's 2 servers.
I mean, I think the PvE content won't take as much of a dip simply because there's going to be less people, right? So let's face it, there will be people that switch from the Russian server away. So there will be fewer people, but that just means that the existing or the remaining people have to consolidate. The servers will probably merge at some point, because I really don't think there's going to be a reason to have more than one server after that. So just be wary that you will have to consolidate your guilds, maybe go into like the international guilds that are still wanting to play on the Russian server. And yeah, I don't think the server is going to outright die. I do feel like in a month, no, not a month, like more like in a year, maybe longer down the line, we may actually surpass the Russian server, just like we will probably even do it right from the launch in PvP. You might actually have a more advanced PvE server as well. So just be prepared that Russia might be behind EU at some point.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, by the way, Mike and Milk, for the donations. I also wanted to continue a little bit the class discussion, because there is another question that pops up quite often, and that is, like, how should people deal with having alts, or when they want to change their main, for example, to some other class. Um, when is the last time they should be doing it, keeping in mind the island rewards, which are just one time, and the fact that you're going to kind of need all of them to get to tier 2 with your class. So when is the right time for people to, let's say, to reconsider playing another class? How long do they have?
I don't
Cole,
think
what
there's.
do you think?
Yeah, let Coley do it.
Yes, let's Cole speak, because he's the alt person here.
Sorry, what was the question again? I was looking at chat. So
A true streamer looking at chat. The question was, how long do people have to decide on a main? Because there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of new people that are new players, right? And they haven't played in other regions. They don't know all the classes. And as you remember from your time back in 2018, you also felt the need to try other classes, and so will they. But in our Western version, keeping in mind that island rewards are limited, and you're going to use all of them on one character to progress fast. How fast do they have until they need to reconsider on a class?
It's better for them to know it from the get-go, um, because the unique situation in our launch where we're getting tier 3 right away, and this has to do with the engravings and gems. Engravings play a big part in the end game builds. So if you have if you're having a main character and alt character of the same class, then you can recycle the same engraving book that you're gonna spend money on the alt, and your alt is gonna be just as powerful. So that's one cost saving factor. But the other cool stuff is the gems. I was talking about it in the stream earlier. Um, because we're not gonna spend too much money re-rolling stuff on the tier 2 blue gems when we start getting it, because we're going to tier 3. But the blue gems, once we synthesize it, and if it rolls nicely with your class damage buff thing, right? Once our main character move to tier 3, you can still give the gems to your alt characters, and they are going to do pretty good damage with those blue gems while they are still in tier 2 before they reach tier 3, if they are the same class. But if they are different class, then if you give the gem to your alt characters, you still have to re-roll the gem before you can use it. So that's going to cost some shillings. So that is like one of the advantage. If you can decide from early on what class you're going to play, then like there are like these kind of small things that will help you save some cost, but um, will allow you to do good damage with your alt characters as well. Because
Hmm.
we are going to farm abyssal dungeons with alt characters as well, and we do not want to go with our weak alt characters. So yeah, so that's
Hmm.
some of the thing. One of the thing I would consider. Yeah.
The only thing here with our Western release is that it's a fresh release. This is what needs to be remembered. If you were to play in any other region, for example, you already have there, after years of being out, you have their boosts to level 50, and not only, they get you through item levels as well. So the only, let's say, problem here is that we have a fresh release. So assuming you want to keep up with the people that start the fresh release at the same time and they know what class you're going to play, it would be nice for you to do some research into the classes that you want to play. You can do this by either playing the game. You still have a couple of days. It's enough if you're really into this, and if you're really crazy about knowing your main or knowing how classes feel, you can absolutely play the game in Russia, for example. They even have boosts for real money, which we're also going to get, but they're going to be helpful. So don't be afraid of these boosts for your alts later down the road, 6 months into the future. It's nice to skip the 10-hour leveling process. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you can also skip it in game, but that's another topic. We discussed it. So that's why, because we're fresh. This is actually the reason why. Um, so it's nice to say. It's nice to actually know. At least in large terms. Any of you have like class guide videos on your channels?
Mainly PvP related for now, although I did upload some leveling ones too. But since I was mainly PvPing on Russia, since I didn't want to lose my progression, right? It's mainly PvP right now for Blade and Shadowhunter for me.
Mm-hmm. Wilky, do you have like a how to pick your class video?
I actually don't have that. No, I do not have a video like this. I only have specific class guides for the classes that I do play or did play. Shameless self plug number 4. I actually have a Berserker guide that's gonna launch in a couple hours from now. So, but yeah, I have a couple of class guides. Some PVE, some PvP, some both, where I just talk about chaos dungeons, guardian raids, builds, engraving, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Can I play on Kole? Do you have any how to pick your class videos?
No, I don't have any how to pick your class video, but knowing that we're going to play in NAU, and I had a chat with you about this before. Since I did not play the other classes, I was only playing mainly playing Deadeye for a long time. So I decided to play all the classes, and so the PVE, I run two different builds: PVE for Chaos Dungeon and Tower of Shadow runs. And then the raid build is usually meta. I learned from my friends who played, and then I tried myself, and oh, I find it cool. So I made a
Where
guide
are
for all the 15 classes in my YouTube channel. Also made
there you
guides
go.
for raid mechanics, guardian raid mechanics, tower mechanics, and this thing. Yeah, I've been really busy on YouTube lately.
There you go. There you go. This is the source of information. Can I play on NA if I'm from EU? Absolutely, you can. Um, how many build templates do we have for each class to start off for switching in between a 10 game? I don't know. I think there's 7 or 10. I think the first three are free, and then afterwards you need to start paying crystals for them. Um, how do we feel about 21 by 9? Um, by 9 monitor. Um, I yeah, I think it's useful. Do you want to take the PvP side of this, Nico?
Sure.
Very popular
Over.
question.
Yeah, it's a very, very common question. And recently there was also some news on Lower On where they talked about the FOV and the 21 by 9 a little bit. But a lot of people were confused by that, and the actual changes that they made didn't really affect that at all. So currently, if you're playing 16 by 9, you will be at a significant disadvantage in PvP and to an extent in PvE as well, because you can't see the sides that 21 by 9 users can. So you basically can just see less. So that's definitely, if you want to play PvP at least somewhat competitively, you'll be forced to play 21 by 9 for sure. But then again, you can force it, right? You don't actually need a monitor for it, so you can still use your 16 by 9.
Yeah. The same goes for PvE. I think it's of a little bit of a help later on in raid, so you can see mechanics coming from further left and right. If there's something coming at you from the edges of the room, so it's nice but you can also force it, like Lino said. There is an option in game where you can just enable it, and it cuts from the top and the bottom of your screen, so it shrinks a little bit what you see, but at least you get to see the sides. Yeah. Um, can we get into some details with the co-op? When you start joining a group with your friends, can you do the campaigns together? Is there level scaling if you're higher level? Another very beginner question. I like to see these questions. I never saw them until today. Like this really like utmost basics. When can I start playing with my buddy? Do the story together and stuff. And it's so cute and it's so nice. Good job, by the way, on the questions. Um, Wilky, when should people start playing together? Is there any advantages of playing in a party, um, or
I mean,
disadvantages?
I mean, it's an MMORPG, right? So this is something a lot of people are looking for. You can pretty much play together as soon as you leave the tutorial area. So that's level 10 for pretty much everybody else. You don't have to, but you can. Some dungeons will still just send you in solo, so you can't do everything together. But we touched on that earlier. Everything you do pre-level 50 is more like a dragged out tutorial kind of thing. After that, you can pretty much do everything together with the exceptions of very specific solo dungeon content, but it's a very minor part, so you can play in a party. There's not really any disadvantage since loot is instanced anyway, so everything you see on your screen is for you anyway, so you're not like having to deal with loot ninjas or people stealing your loot. So if you play with 4 people, each of the all 4 players get the same loot, and if you're alone, you get the same loot anyway. So it's a really good system to prevent like toxicity, loot whoring, or like, oh, I want this, I want that. And typically, it also has a few benefits, like you can swap around certain late game roles. I don't want to go too deep in that, but there is quite a few beneficial stuff for you if you play in a fixed party.
Mm-hmm. Kole, any thoughts on people playing together while they level up?
The only comment on that is the monsters in the dungeons, the health goes up as the number of people in the party goes up. So if you're going with a party of 4, But if the teammates don't know what they're doing, if they're running around and the monsters are running around, it could be a bit messy. So my advice would be either go solo, but the best would be duo, because the monsters house do not go up too much. And there are some mechanics on some dungeon where if there's two player, one player can do this and the other player can activate the other mechanic. So duo would be perfect. But for classes like bard, players who play bard, they might need to go with some friends. But if the four player going into a dungeon know what they're doing, then it can be super fast. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, my kid just entered the room. What is the maximum number? Hi, Deja Sasha. Come here. What's the maximum number of character slots? I know you start with 6. I wanted to talk about this actually because I saw in a recent video. I'm gonna show you actually the video as well. She looks a little bit like Mowgli. Don't worry about her. She's fine. We're gonna comb her after the podcast. We don't have time. Lost Ark is coming. Yeah. So I saw it. I saw it in a video, by the way. In one video, I don't know if I understood it wrong or whatnot, but one of the videos that I saw recently of sci-fi, this one right here, this particular video. Let's just open it up. Let's pause it so we wouldn't get a crazy sound. I believe that you guys also have maybe seen this video, and it's basically sci-fi giving his 5 tips for Lost Ark. Pretty juicy title, right? Everyone's doing 5 mistakes, avoid these, so might as well be sci-fi who's giving these titles as well. So I don't know if I'm correct, but he actually mentioned here 5, like he mentioned 5 characters. I don't know why. Maybe he just mentioned top 5 and I misunderstood, or he just literally mentioned 5 character slots. But yeah,
I
I'm
was
gonna look
confused
at it
about that
after.
too.
I don't know. He talked about your first 5
I think he
characters
meant
where you
6
can.
probably, where
But
you
did
don't
he
need a
actually
game.
say 5? Because I don't want to play this video because we're gonna hear double
Hmm.
again. It's just the
Yeah,
setup.
I'm not sure.
But during this video, he mentioned your first 5 characters. So I have absolutely no idea if that's the case. Look, another question that you guys can answer. Any classes refused in raids, Wilky?
Nope, not unless your name has been burned or you're running around with absolute horrendously poor setups. So poor gear, poor engravings, everything looks like it's just been taken out of Walmart and slapped together. Then people will not take you. Even if you're a support and you run around with like grudge or like offensive engravings, people will even ignore you or like not let you into the party then. As long as the character has been taken care of, you should have no trouble with any refusals.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, for me, in my party, Lance Masters are banned. That is just a separate issue altogether, though. I'm just kidding. As long as you're not playing
What
some
about
scuff build.
What about for PvP content, Neeko? Like someone asks you, hey man, can you take me in your esports team? I'm playing this class. Oh no, shit, you're playing that class. I don't want you. Is that the thing?
I think generally speaking, there's no class that is not viable, but it depends on the team comp. So if I was playing in a team comp where a sharpshooter or a Hawkeye wouldn't fit, then obviously I would say, maybe in this one it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But maybe in another team comp it actually can work. So I think in that regard, any class can play pretty competitively if you play in the right team comp.
Mm-hmm. Is there a big gear? Look, Neeko, you can take this one also. Is there a big gear gap when I focus on it from beginning?
This one is also a very common one. Once you get to around level 26 through the main quest line, you can enter arena and all of your gear, all of your stats, all of your tripod, skill points, everything will be equalized. So there is no gear gap in that sense. That is match-made PvP though. If we're talking about large scale and something like that, that's a completely different story. But most of the PvP that you see will be equalized.
Mm-hmm. Yes, PvP is equalized in Lost Ark, except like Neeko said, the GVG. Other than that, we're all good to go. Um, but yeah, guys, this was almost everything for our podcast. She's eating paper. Yeah, God bless. This is the best thing she ate today. Uh, paper. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. By the way, I apologize for not being able to answer all of the questions that were in chat. I had my plan to talk about some things that were actually asked by you, so I took them as they came there. And yeah, each of us can see you in the future also. Each of us streams. Kole is streaming on Twitch. Neeko is streaming on Twitch. Wilky, I forgot his name. This guy is streaming on Twitch also. They all have YouTube channels where you can find them. I am also streaming and have my YouTube channel. So any other questions, very appreciated. Don't be shy if you're a new player, by the way. Don't be shy to approach these people and ask them for whatever advice or their opinion. If someone gives you an opinion about something, then ask another person also, what's your opinion on the same thing, right? And then with that knowledge, that's how you get into Lost Ark. It's actually quite important for Lost Ark in general as a game to have at least a basic knowledge of some basic things like classes, or what is a valuable item, what's not, what content should you focus on or at least not skip on a daily basis. So go ahead and ask. I advise this for new players, and enjoy the game because it's a lovely, beautiful game, and you can absolutely enjoy the game at the same time as you play PvP, as you gear up, as you rush through things. These are not bad words in Lost Ark, yeah? So highly encourage you to do that. Any closing words, guys, for the players? We're not going to have a podcast until release. Um, Anything you would like to say to new players?
Maybe just thanks for joining the game. Thanks for being a part of it, because so far the community has been honestly great, and I'm normally someone that's in the middle of all the drama, so this time it's pretty nice to just have such a nice community, and overall just so many new players coming in as well, right? The game's going to be free to play on the 11th, and I'm not sponsored, by the way. And if you're on the fence like regarding the game, you can always check it out for free, and then if you don't like it, just move on. So yeah, see you guys in game.
Wilky, say a
Yeah.
few words. Otherwise, Neeko's gonna be the hero here. We don't want him.
I mean, I can only agree that the community in Lost Ark is incredibly helpful, and I think a lot of it has to do with how the game is designed to begin with. So it doesn't actually breed a lot of these conflicting points in a game. But it's also like the community, everybody that I got in contact with, everybody was new at a point. I came into, for example, St. Tone's stream, and he picked me up. Koleverii was, I think, the very first streamer that I actually legitimately watched, and he was always so helpful. He went out of his way, stopped what he was doing, and showed you the actual in-game footage, and not just, oh, do this and that, and just proceeded. And
I
this goes
remember.
on.
Sorry, Wilkie. Just
Yeah, go
about Kole. I remember the same thing as you said when I was watching Kole. He was teaching people the Lopang Island and where to get that ship. I forgot the name. That Argentine ship. He was talking about the pirate island there. Then you go to Lopang, and then he was showing all of these things. This was in like 2018, for fuck's sake. But yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, and that was crazy helpful, and you immediately felt like it's like everybody's welcoming you with open arms. And whether you actually like watching streamers, you like watching YouTube videos, or even if you don't, I think you're gonna have a fun time in Lost Ark. And like Neeko said, if you don't want to spend money, you don't have to. It's a very well designed game. And even as a free-to-play player, you don't have to face the consequences. For PvP lovers, it's an insanely fun game. You can just go to the arena, not worry about anything, and duke it out, and just, I'm like the best player in the world, and you can go for that, and you don't need to grind for gear. Likewise, you can do that in PvE if you want to. And it's a wonderful experience. Smilegate is an incredibly good and actually fairly Western-orientated developer. Like, so much so that the Loa On, which is like their BlizzCon of Smilegate or like Lost Ark, they even went so far as to have like an on-premise translation on that Korean stream, right? So they went out of the way and got like people that were translating everything they said in an English subtitle live as we went. So they do actually show that they care about what the West thinks. And I think this is an incredibly huge chance for not only the Korean game or Smilegate to redeem itself in the Western world, but also to create a long-lasting MMORPG, which we quite frankly haven't seen in quite a few years. So I'm really hopeful that this will turn out into a game that's not just played for 2 months. And I don't mean like a New World, but like a legitimately good quality game that's going to keep us entertained for years to come.
What about you, Kole? What are you gonna tell to new players? Welcome. Thank you.
Oh,
What else?
yeah. Enjoy Lost Ark, guys. Little bit of history. I was playing Diablo 3 since 2012 to 2017 when my friend Eat Red Carpet in the chat here, he posted that first Lost Ark, the introduction video thing. That was awesome. Got me hooked. Immediately stopped Diablo 3, started learning Korean and just to play this thing. And what, 2 days from now or 1 day from now, this is the moment we've been waiting for, guys. Finally, we get to play Lost Ark in English with you guys. It's gonna be awesome. So have fun,
Very
guys.
exciting.
Let's have fun. Very
Very
exciting. Very
exciting, and
exciting.
just 2 days left for me. Again, as always, I don't understand what exactly is happening. I literally just I'm unable to. I don't know. I'm just unable to understand that it's coming for us in the West, and I don't know. Maybe it's just me having a mental blockage. One last question from a donation. Also, are there super rare drops from bosses, gear mounts? Are there still is there still that mount that is dropped from what boss was it? I don't remember. I don't really do many world bosses. I actually think I've done 5 world bosses in my life in Lost Ark. So
There are
yeah,
some things that are on an RNG basis, but nothing that everybody's looking after. So, not in the classic sense that you know it from other games with like a loot table as big um, as like I don't know. I don't want to make a joke about this. Like yeah, there's nothing's like this in Lost Ark.
all right. Will there be a marriage system in the game? Yeah, they're planning on that in Korea. Maybe it's gonna come for us in the West also. You guys have a lot of questions, and I apologize, but I will press the end stream button. I would love to answer them. I'm gonna answer more of them in my stream, maybe tomorrow evening. Cole is gonna answer. Wilky is gonna answer. We welcome new players. Very nice of you to try out the game. We appreciate you, and we really want to help you. So I thank you. And I thank my guests also, and I'll see you in the next one. Very appreciated that you joined. Thank
Thank
you.
you for having us, Saivo.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for
Goodbye.
having us, Evo. Thank you, Wilkie. Thank you, Neeko. It's been fun, man.